I'm gonna give you the 3 best drills that you can use to improve your agility and your athletic strength, and we're gonna start right now. So we're gonna give you 3 drills that you can use to improve your jukes. Okay, so first, what's a juke? Let's think about there's an opponent coming towards you and you have to get a little shifty to cut a specific way. So you wanna put your center of mass in a lower position, you wanna have your steeper shin angle, and you're able to move quickly so that your opponent can't get a hold of you. Or if you're a wrestler, they can't grab you and take you down. Or if you're a basketball player, they can't steal the ball from you. Whatever it is that we're doing, whatever sport, a juke is essentially setting that position up so that we can fake out our opponent. Now, we have to understand 2 key principles. That first thought is going to be chunking. So a lot of coaches think you can't teach jukes in the weight room. However, based off the principle of chunking, if we look at a juke, and let's say we take a highlight of Derrick Henry or LaShawn McCoy, and we break down some of their best cuts of all time that they've had, and we bring it back to the first 2 to 4 steps. Now we're chunking that juke, and then we can go even deeper and go, all right, let's just go with the first step or the second step, and then we master the first and second step, then we bring in the third step. That's using chunking. Then after we master the third step, now we can go 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, and we start to use chunking in the weight room. And this brings up the concept of central pattern generators, or the mechanism around central pattern generators. So that's gonna be brain motor neurons that exist on the spine and essentially control rhythmic movement, okay? So if we can understand rhythmic movement as walking, swimming, doing things that you really don't think about, walking and then going to a jog and then going to a sprint, this is all using central pattern generators. So the idea here is that we want to take command-driven tasks where we're actually thinking, okay, I'm gonna get into this position, I'm gonna do this first movement, and then after that movement is established, then we have our CPGs that can take over to enhance our agility and our athletic strength. So the entire goal here is that we're taking our crazy movements and they're going to be semi-autonomous. All right, so now central pattern generators are gonna be the autonomous movements, okay, that exist, just like breathing or coughing, throwing up, even swimming. These are things that your body does using CPGs, central pattern generators. The command part is gonna be the commencement of those movements. So now we're gonna take these 2 principles and combine it into semi-autonomous movements, and that's where these 3 key exercises come into play so that you can master those jukes and enhance your athletic strength. Okay, so that first exercise is going to be known as the Hayden jump, okay? So Eric Hayden, beast speed skater. Well, I think he won a whole bunch of medals in like Calgary in '88. I was 4 years old in '88. So this is a movement where you have to learn how to decelerate, okay, through angular change of direction. What I want to look for here, what I'm doing is I'm going, a simple chunking method would be pause, pause, jump, okay? So I just learned 3 steps, possibly 4 if you count dropping, cutting, jumping, stopping on that finish. So it's really 4 steps, right? I just learned that at a slower pace. When we do things at a slower pace, it can be a little bit more complex. When we do things faster, we have to be a little bit more precise with our movement. So the whole purpose here is that with the Hayden jump, we want to go pause and really focus on deceleration and co-contractions in our hip and our knee. So we're going pause, jump, right? Now that wasn't that good, but what we can do now is as I'm warming up and I'm starting to master, I'm starting to work through the chunking, and this might happen in 1 training session. This might happen over 3 months. Depends on the athlete, depends on their skill level, depends on their strength levels, okay? So now we're gonna go here, 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 okay? So it's a little bit quicker. 1 more here, boom, boom, boom. And what you can start to do, you wanna rest, rest 2 to 3 minutes, but as you start to get better at this movement, you can start to put lines on where you're landing, target lines here so that we don't cheat too much. Then we jump, and where we land can be a distance that we're looking to aim for so that we can get a little bit better, a little bit more precise, and a little bit more explosive. So 1 more here I'll show you, and then I want to talk about how you can apply this and what sports this is going to transfer well to. So here, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I would do these if you're a basketball player, if you're a speed skater, obviously, if you're a football player, it's something that's gonna help you change direction and move quickly. And then as you get better and better and better, you can add double leg bounds on the end. You can add slightly higher of a box, not much higher than 18 inches is what I would recommend there. But you can start to use this to fake somebody out, to do some head movement, to get your hips to change one way and then drive out the other way. It's gonna transfer well even to a sport like wrestling. So hide and jumps once to twice a week if you wanna improve that athletic strength. All right, so that second key is gonna be a reflexive movement that you can use to improve your Euro step, okay? So again, this is something that you can use for basketball, you can use for football, you can use this for wrestling, you can use this even, I believe, for soccer. Before I show you the full thing, what we wanna focus on is chunking, okay? So we're gonna do 2 different parts and then we're gonna mold this together. So this would be the first part here, boom, okay? Just stop, focus, you got a 5K plate here, boom, here, okay? Now, the next thing that we can focus on, that would be the first part, the first step. It's simple, right? The second part would be, I have my left leg up, my plant leg, okay, here, boom, boom. Okay, so I'm starting from the ground, boom, boom. And I wanna bring this through, hold this 90 degrees, hip to knee, knee to toe, boom, boom. And hold and drive this nice and tight and explosive straight down into the ground. Now, we've seen what that looks like. Hopefully I can do this here. I'm gonna go here, boom, boom. Okay, so notice I'm piecing the 2 chunks together. Boom, boom. Oh, slightly off balance there. Give me one more here. Here, boom, boom. And you can see, I should have twisted there a little bit more. You can see it gets a little more complicated as you combine everything together. Now, that's a 5K plate, right? I could do this with a 10 kilo plate. That's gonna be about 22 pounds. I could also do this with a water bag. The water bag is gonna be a lot more challenging, but as you start to master movements and you get better and better and better at them, you can start to use them a little more effectively, and you can take someone who struggles with cutting, they struggle with the Euro step, and you can use this exercise to train that so that they can perform a little bit better on the court. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. One more. Oh, one more. We're training multiple different things that we talk quite a bit about, okay? Think about that deceleration and reactiveness there, so good agility. Also, water bag, holding that hip lock, co-contractions and dynamic trunk control. And then as we plant here and we're upright, that could also transfer over to that cross extensor reflex. So we're killing a lot of birds with one stone, okay? Right there. So use this, you got the water bag, start. I would even start body weight and then slowly add a little bit. You can add a 5 kilo plate, 10 kilo plate, work up to the water bag to improve your DTC and your overall athletic strength. Okay, that third key exercise is going to be the Sanders cut to box, named after my favorite, Barry Sanders. So chunking method, full effect right now. First thing we want to do, body weight, okay? Body weight, and I'm going to teach how this is going to go just by going decelerating here. Ideally, I want to keep my hips slightly square, or at least my shoulders square. Here, boom, okay? Now, as I get better at this, I'm gonna be stopping and I'm gonna start to lower my hips behind my front foot. That's gonna help me with this cut. The next part of the chunk would be boom, boom, okay? Notice I did that all body weight. Now I'm gonna show you chunking with an object. So we're gonna go 5K plate. First thing that we can do, boom. And you're gonna have athletes who might feel this a little bit in their lower back. I think if they have a really tight QL, piriformis, they'll start to feel that a little bit. So it's important that they're strong enough to handle these positions. This is where absolute strength comes into play. This is where bodybuilding work comes into play. So when we're talking about reflexive strength, we also have to bring up hypertrophy and absolute strength. It all plays a game here, right? It's all playing a part in the game. So now we can go here, boom. And when I push this out here, it's gonna help me get lower and then drive this way on a sharp cut. We want a 90-degree cut. Okay, we're gonna go from that to this. Boom, boom, here. Okay, so now we're starting to see, boom, boom, that nice speed that goes into play and the juke that you can start to set up. If you see Think about if I'm a running back, Barry Sanders. Let's say we're playing today. If we're playing a zone, you know, I don't know, zone 3 or cover 3. We're playing cover 3 and we know the scheme that my offensive line is setting up. They're gonna be folding down or coming down on the whole entire field to the right, and I'm gonna have to make one cut to make somebody miss. I know that the lane's gonna open up here, and I have a linebacker coming in. I know based off of my command-driven task where I need to get to, but then I also know based off of reflexive training with the team and based off of the tendencies of our opponent where that hole's gonna open up and which opponent I'm gonna have to make miss. So I'm here, plant, boom, and now I can make a better cut. So running backs, lacrosse players, soccer players, wrestlers, basketball players would benefit tremendously from this. Now I'm gonna show you with the water bag. Here, boom, boom. Okay, so DTC work, cutting work here. Boom, boom. That was a little sloppy. Let's go one more. Boom, boom. Okay, so if it gets a little sloppy with some of those reps, slow it down a little. Learn that process again, go back through the chunking and then speed it back up so that you can accelerate a little bit quicker and drastically master that athletic strength. Okay, so we went over what athletic strength is through discussions on jukes, right? Then we understood where the principles of chunking come into play. We understand at least a little bit of the concept of central pattern generators and how they can impact our movement. And then we understand that now we can take CPGs and have a command-driven task and sort of unite that into a semi-autonomous movement, and that's where those 3 key jukes come into play. If you guys need help with this, we got a free programming template that you can download in the link down below, and we also have an agile and hostile program that's gonna lead to you drastically improving your ability to cut and fake out your opponents. Remember, freaks, if you want to become a champion, you've always got to cultivate your power. Peace.